15 minutes is a hell of a long time.
Is it?
I've never done any competition work before, and I just have no clue of the standard and level of the contestants.
Off you go, Jackie. Good luck.
And she starts organising her mise en place on one end of the workstation, and her cooking is done in the opposite area.
Peas had to be blanched, potatoes had to be cooked, so you had to start with 4 pots on. Then it was concentrating on the Guinea Fowl.
You can just see the professionalism coming out in her.
She just starts chopping away and dismembering this bird. It was incredible to see.
That's where you can see the difference between professional and amateur.
I'm starting my sauce here. I'm feeling comfortable with my 15 minutes head start, but now I need to pick up the pace. There's a lot of elements to get ready and kind of finish off at the end. Resting, cutting, chopping. There's a lot to do. It was just timing on everything.
Looking good, Tiron.
Oh, Tiron smells delicious.
The crown of the quails, get that in the oven so I can rest and get it cooked perfectly. If I don't, that's challenge over. I got about just under 50 minutes and I think I'm on track. I've still got quite a few elements to do.
Tiron, how are you doing on that side?
Waiting for my potatoes. They seem to take a long time to get where they should be.
You'll have enough time.
I'm amazed at how precise she is with everything, and she still weighs everything, which means that her recipes are in her mind.
In the kitchen, you've got to be able to remember recipes. It's a natural kind of process.
You could just see the way her mind was working, and she was just ticking it off as she was going.
I thought, what is she buzzing up? Then I thought, pea puree. I did kind of forget about my peas.
When I looked over at Chef Jackie, she added some of the bacon fat oil into a puree and sifted it through. That obviously added much more flavor to a pea puree.
It was really a masterclass in the making.
Tiron, Jackie, 25 minutes remain in this challenge.
Got to finish up my gnocchi, which that takes a little while, and then just really seasoning everything, making sure everything's tasting right. With gnocchi, the potatoes have to be slightly cool when you start adding the flour, and if you're adding an egg yolk to it, otherwise it's going to make glue, and really just to season it well.
Theoretically, if they float, they're done.
Using 2 gnocchi boards that you actually get those grooves, because once you get the grooves in your gnocchi as well, that's when your butter or your flavouring when you fry it actually sticks to it.
Tiron, how's the gnocchi coming along?
Just gone in.
Remember, as soon as they come to the top,
They're done.
take them out.
Thank you, Chef.
Nice, Tiron.
Looking awesome, Tiron.
Tiron, Jackie, you got 10 minutes. It's down to the wire.
Tiron, are you starting to plate?
Yes, I am.
At the end, it was just kind of bringing all the components together and making sure that everything was cooked beautifully and seasoned well.
I think the flavors came pretty close to Chef Jackie's. I seasoned everything. I tasted a few times each. They taste fantastic.
You've got 1 minute left to finish off.
top chefs plate like top chefs. So they really make it look like a masterpiece.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Stop cooking.
It was a bit frantic, but I'm just super excited that I got through the whole challenge, got everything on the plate, and I'm happy with what I've done today.
Well done. Well done.
Both very colourful looking plates. They both seem to have all the elements on the plate.
Plate number 2's gnocchi looks a lot crisper.
They are. Not a great deal to choose from in the plating of the two. I think a lot of this is going to be about taste and textures.
Let's taste.
Right.
We'll start with plate 1.
Let's tuck in. Good flavours. With plate number 1's Guinea Fowl breast, I think it was a tad overcooked, and the rosemary was in there, but it just wasn't chopped fine enough.
Now, the breast, I felt that it needed a bit more extra salt. But combining it with the sauce and the gnocchi, we made it all come together.
Well, what I like about this is the shredded leg. It's beautifully cooked. It's got a lovely, rich taste to it.
I needed more cream in dish number 1's ragu of the Guinea Fowl leg. You got the richness of the red wine reduction, but that creaminess just brings it back. The gnocchi was light. I think the shape of them were pretty cylindrical, and it hasn't been overworked. So
Yeah.
it's a good gnocchi.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we've tasted dish number 1. It's time to vote.
Plate number 2, I found the Guinea Fowl breast perfectly seasoned and cooked for me. The coq au vin ragu had that right amount of cream in it.
On plate number 2's gnocchi, well, I found them nicely seasoned because obviously they'd been either tossed in the jus or some burnt butter, one of the two. I found them a little stodgier than plate number 1. So for me, plate number 2's gnocchi is a little bit overworked, a little bit tight.
So the addition of the pea puree just brings in that smoothness and creaminess, and combined with the jus, it's just a good combination.
The sauce on number 2 is nice, but I found there was more to the sauce on 1. I found that richer. It brought out more flavors on the plate for me.
Okay.
I'm intrigued to find out whose is whose. Let's vote. Please put us out of our misery, guys. Who is plate number 1 and who is plate number 2?
Plate 2.
If Tiron wins today, he gets an immunity pin, which means he can get out of any future pressure test or elimination challenge for free, which is a great thing to win.
I liked dish number 1. It had a nice balance, looked at it from appearance point of view. I loved the beautiful rich jus. The gnocchi for me was a particular high point. Lovely, light. I scored dish number 1. Seven.
On first appearance, I saw that on plate number 1, there was some peas missing. There was a lack of seasoning in the Guinea Fowl breast, but when you put everything together, it just comes alive. So I scored dish 1 a 7.
On plate number 1, I would have liked a little bit more cream in the ragu just to balance off that rich, intense, full-bodied jus. But I did enjoy how it all came together. I scored dish number 1 7 out of 10.
The final scoring for plate 1 is 21. The feedback I got was really uplifting. I feel great.
Dish number 2, I found each element had the right amount of seasoning in there, and things were cooked perfectly. I scored plate number 2 9.
Plate number 2 for me showed a bit of finesse in the way the elements were plated. The Guinea fowl breast appeared to be moist and succulent, and upon tasting it, it just melted in my mouth. The one thing in particular that I didn't enjoy was the gnocchi. It appeared to be crisp on the outside, but upon having it in my mouth, it was a bit too heavy. I scored dish number 2 8.
After the first 2 scores, plate 2 is on 17.
The jus for me could have reduced a little bit further. I didn't think it had the depth of flavor that the jus on plate number 1 had, but the Guinea fowl, the breast was beautifully cooked. It was a lovely, just a faint pink hue, almost like a rosé, and it was beautifully moist and well-seasoned plate. I scored dish number 2 8.5. That means dish number 2 is today's winner with 25.5 points, as opposed to dish number 1, 21 points.
Plate 2 has soared to victory, but still extremely proud.
It's just a wonderful process to be involved in, and if any chef says this is easy, it's not.
And what did you think of Tiron's valiant effort?
I'm just so impressed. Just to be able to complete that dish in the time is so impressive, and really big congratulations. You just did a remarkable job.
So I got 21 out of 30. That's a pass in my books, and very happy.
Did us proud today, man. You really did.